What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing another Godzilla King of the Monsters news and updates. Chapter time is in the description below. Skip to whichever story you want. We will be showing off art this episode, starting out with Garza Pinup's classic Mothra. This is his Toho Mothra. He just killed it with this. This is a painting. He said it's like a watercolor he did. It's fantastic. He did a great job with it. So I wanted to show it off just because it's great talent. But I also wanted to show it off because we'll compare it to his 2019 Mothra a little later. Speaking of Garza Pinups, he also sent his Godzilla Atomic Breath picture, which I'll show off. Matt Zillay, why is it written all wrong? Matt Zillay 10 did his Godzilla poster. I believe this was a Talent House competition winner. There was the Talent House art competition. It was a whole bunch of artists sending in Godzilla art, and Talent House selected a few of their favorites to, I believe, go see the Godzilla King of the Monsters premiere that happened the other night. This one I think is really cool. It's very creative. It's Godzilla's silhouette, and then in the dorsal fins you have your other kaiju. So you have Ghidorah's head, Rodan, and then his little wing maybe, and then you got Mothra flying there. Looks really cool. I think it's great. Very creative, like I said. This is a really cool one. I like the idea a lot, and I think he did a great job executing that idea. Marcus Angel did his Godzilla vs. Ghidorah. I believe I said his name right. We have shown this image before on the channel, but we showed an unfinished version. He finished it now, and we can see it looks fantastic. You've got Godzilla and Ghidorah wrapping around Godzilla in that iconic poster imagery. Godzilla's firing his atomic breath into the sky. That's really cool. I love the texturing, the detailing on Godzilla, the coloring, the shading, everything going on here. Ghidorah now, previously when we showed it off, had no texture and nothing. Now Ghidorah looks amazing. He's textured just the same as Godzilla. Super detailed, really great. I think it's fantastic. This is awesome, man. Thank you for sending it my way. Hex Sneaks Godzilla vs. Ghidorah art is also worthy of showing off. This is incredible. Godzilla clutching Ghidorah's head is really cool, and then Ghidorah biting his arm. I think Godzilla looks awesome in this picture. He looks super mean, very menacing with the blue showing through. His skin just looks super cool. I really like that imagery a lot. Josh 2004 Jr. on Instagram did a Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah picture. Now this one's also really cool. It's kind of stylized as well. You've got two of Ghidorah's heads looking down on Godzilla. You've got Godzilla with the fiery looking lightning in the background. That's really cool. I actually really like the way that the fire and the lightning kind of blend together, and Godzilla's all burning. It looks awesome. This is super cool. I also really like the red eyes for Ghidorah and the orange eyes for Godzilla. It's very neat. Usually you see Godzilla with the blue eyes, so it's cool to see something different. All right, let's get back to Garza Pinup one last time to show off his Mothra 2019. This I think is just beautiful. I just think there's something so elegant about Mothra in the movie and in general, but I think this artwork does a really good job to show that off. So I think that's really cool, and I wanted to show off his Mothra at the start so that I could show this one, and then you could see the comparison between the old school and the new school stuff, and it's really cool. I believe Michael Dougherty also liked this Mothra on Twitter, which is awesome. Just seeing Michael Dougherty involved in the community is always cool. Time to show off some GNA art, because it's been too long since we've shown off GNA art. I love the guy's art. It could be a girl. I really have no idea. I think GNA's a guy. You have his Rodan Generations picture, which is super cool. I like the idea. You got your Showa Rodan down below, and then you've got your big new Rodan up above. I'm not sure if the proportions check out here. I mean, I think the old school Rodan might actually be taller than the current Rodan or the same height, but I know the wingspan for new Rodan is just huge compared to the old one, so that does match up. But I think it's a really cool idea. I love the picture. I love the imagery, and it's also cool because, first of all, it ties it all back to the 56 movie. You know, you got Rodan with two Rodans, and also because GNA always does Godzilla Generations pictures, so it's cool to see a Rodan Generations picture. Speaking of GNA, let's show off some more GNA art with this Rodan silhouetted in front of the moon. It's an amazing picture. I wish we could see imagery like this in the movie, but I don't think we will. That's a really cool shot, though. If we did see something like that in the movie, it reminds me of the Godzilla in front of the moon that GNA did and that we saw in the movie. It's a great idea. I really like the moonlight silhouette pictures. They're very beautiful. And then our final art piece for the episode is another GNA piece. I say final art piece, which is funny because we're going to be talking about concept art here in a minute. It is Ghidorah on the volcano with everything erupting. Just looks awesome. Kent FMTR did a custom Xbox design. You can actually go enter the competition down using the Twitter link below. I believe he's giving this away. You know, I think it's funny because I actually like this better than what I believe is the official Xbox, which is just like they made it to look like Godzilla. This one's way cooler. I don't know if this is like a big sponsored thing he's doing. I'd imagine it is. I'd imagine that this is a sponsored event, that this is official. It does look official, but I don't think there's many of them. Probably limited to like one or a few. So I'm not sure on the details. I didn't look too far into it because I'm not really interested in getting one. But for those of you who are, you can go check it out using the link down below. It's a really cool Xbox, very cool design. I do prefer this over the actual Godzilla Xbox we are getting. Godzilla Aftershock has been officially released. Now, I have not read it yet. Mine's still on pre-order. I have no idea when it's going to get here, which kind of sucks. It's like, why did I pre-order it if I don't even have it on time? I don't know. What are you doing, Amazon? We'll see. When I get it, I guess. But Godzilla Aftershock has officially been released. I believe this is a slight variation on the cover, just a little bit of color correction here that Legendary released on Twitter. I'm very excited to read it. I've heard it explains quite a bit about the new 2019 movie, so I'm very interested to see what will be explained in it and what will happen to the Muto Prime. Will it die? I have no idea. Don't spoil it for me because I still need to read it. There has been just loads of Godzilla King of the Monsters promos coming out. You know, I've covered them in the past videos and I'll continue to cover them as long as they come out. We have this one, which is Millie Bobby Brown, O'Shea Jackson Jr., and Thomas Middleditch. They seem to be their little squad. So it seems like whoever did these promos got them all in for like one extended day and just had them film all of this stuff at once. But you got this one, which is How Well Do You Know the Titans? It's them playing games, like quizzing each other. It's Millie quizzing the other two, and they're like trying to guess, you know, how tall is Godzilla according to if you're only using Millie Bobby Brown as a measurement, or how tall is Ghidorah in terms of Thomas Middleditch's, or whatever it is. And, you know, they're just messing around. It's pretty funny. All of these are like just kind of goofy, entertaining stuff to get people excited, which is cute, I guess. I don't know what word to use. There's also one that is like If Titans Were Real, which is them reading off, I believe they're like tweets or like Reddit quotes. I don't know what they are. They're just like fake scenarios that they're reading to each other and they're all cracking up about it. Like I said, it just looks like a lot of fun. There was a Godzilla King of the Monsters new TV spot, kind of. It's a new promo for the ScreenX showings of Godzilla King of the Monsters. The ScreenX thing is going on, I believe, in South Korea and in some other places in Asia, I believe. I don't think it's in America. That'd surprise me if there's ScreenX in America. I've never heard of it, but there might be. Gamuru Island said they'd try and watch it in ScreenX, so I have no idea how they plan on doing that. If you've heard my other video where I talked about the ScreenX showing of Godzilla, you know how I feel about it. I just think it's a dumb idea. I think it looks really bad. The stretched image, just, there's nothing appealing about it to me. I would much rather watch an IMAX screen that's curved and big than I'd rather watch like a 280-degree version of the movie. Like, you can't even watch the full thing at once. You're either watching a cropped version of it in the middle or like parts of it on the walls. Like, I don't understand why you'd want ScreenX. It just seems bad in my opinion. It doesn't seem immersive. It just seems goofy. Speaking of goofy things that I don't quite understand, there was a Godzilla promo, which was like a hydraulic press that they did on Nerdist. I believe it's Nerdist. Why they felt the need to do a hydraulic press in 2019 when it's no longer 2016, those things aren't like trendy anymore, I don't know, but it's kind of funny. You know, you got Godzilla stomping like a coffee pot, his foot, whatever. It's advertising for the movie, so it's okay. I'm okay with it. And Gorazard pointed out on Facebook that it reminds him of the 98 advertising, which is probably not what you want to remind people of Godzilla movie. It's a bit of a touchy subject for Godzilla fans. Godzilla promos. There's a lot of them, so we're not even going to cover them all. I'm just going to show off two because I only need to. They get the point across. There is a new marketing push, which is Godzilla International, essentially. It's Godzilla across the globe. Just pictures of like Godzilla's silhouette in this country. Now it's in this country. Now it's in this country. Now you see him in the background in like Korea or wherever that is. It's like, okay, that's sure. It's kind of fun, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's the only way you could say it. It's like, it's kind of fun. There was better versions of this back in 2014. I don't know why they're not doing that. I guess because it just cost too much to Photoshop the images or whatever to make them look that good. But whatever, we get the Godzilla silhouettes on iconic landmarks, and that's okay. Just, again, more promos for the movie. AMC did some cast interviews at the Godzilla King of the Monsters premiere. There's nothing big. There's no big reveals, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'm just going to mention it and then let you go watch it yourself because it is fun to watch. Scott Chambliss did an interview. I believe Scott Chambliss is one of the concept artists for the movie. I know he did concept art for the movie. I think he's one of the creature designers is what it is. He did an interview and we have some concept art that he revealed, or not really revealed, but Forbes used it in their interview. It does come from The Art of Godzilla King of the Monsters, a book that I still need. Again, pre-ordered it. Don't know when it's going to get here, but eventually. It'll get here eventually. We'll talk about the only thing that Scott himself revealed, and that is that Mothra, her twins are going to be in the movie. In some way, shape, or form, Michael Dougherty has hinted to this dozens of times in the past, but in some way, shape, or form, we will see the twins appear, which I find super interesting. I'm very excited to see how they work into the movie. I really do think it will be a Godzilla, the Planet Eater situation. Millie's character is going to touch the head of Mothra and have a vision where she communicates with the twins, who will be these deities from the past, past who used to commune with Mothra. That is my guess. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But that is what I'm going to stick to for now. The other interesting reveals were the bird Rodan concept art, which we have seen before. We've seen it at Tokyo Comic Con, but it just, that design will never grow on me. It's just a bird. It's just the giant claw, and it doesn't look good. It's not Rodan. Rodan's like a pterodactyl, not a bird. I'm so glad they changed the wings. But we do have some really cool concept art. We have Mothra fighting Rodan, which is something we are going to see realized in the movie. This looks a little cleaner than what it looks like we're going to see in the movie, but it's really cool imagery nonetheless. Godzilla vs. Ghidorah in the water. One thing I'll say about it is that you can see the volcano in the background. I think this might actually be something we see in the movie. I've been saying for a while that I think Godzilla and Ghidorah are going to have 2 fights. I think I might have to up that to 3 because there's a lot of concept art placing the 2 of them in the water, and in the trailer we do see Godzilla fighting Ghidorah in the water. So I think there's a popular fan theory, and I think it might be right, that Godzilla is going to go try and stop Rodan as he hatches from the volcano, and Godzilla is going to get himself mixed up with Ghidorah in the process. Ghidorah who lands on the volcano presumably after defeating Godzilla, and I think that will be round 2. And so maybe Godzilla loses twice in a row. Maybe he gets his butt handed to him in Antarctica, Ghidorah leaves, Godzilla retreats, and then Godzilla tries again in Mexico and again is defeated by Ghidorah. That will really establish Ghidorah as a threat, and that'll make that final fight a lot more intense if Godzilla loses twice in a row. But I think that could be what we're seeing here, is Godzilla in Mexico trying to fight Ghidorah, and I think we might see that in the trailer. Godzilla fighting Ghidorah and Rodan, or at least confronting them. That's a really cool shot. I love that, and I love the idea of Ghidorah having a sidekick. He's never had a sidekick. Godzilla's always teamed up with Rodan to fight Ghidorah, so it's a nice role reversal of what we usually get with Rodan. I'm not sure that'll stick. I think in the movie Rodan might play both sides a little bit, so I think during the final fight he's going to just attack whoever gets near him, because we do see him fight both Ghidorah and Mothra in the trailers. We have not seen Rodan interact with Godzilla in the trailers yet, so I'm not sure if he actually will in the movie. And then finally we have a little picture of Godzilla in a destroyed city, which is just, you know, your standard Godzilla imagery. There was a Michael Dougherty interview that Bloody Disgusting covered. It wasn't a Bloody Disgusting interview, but they took a snippet from it, the only relevant snippet to King of the Monsters. The rest of it covers Godzilla vs. Kong, so that'll be saved for a Godzilla vs. Kong video. So I put the condensed version of it down below. In this Michael Dougherty interview, there's nothing huge to talk about. It's just Michael Dougherty again saying if the MonsterVerse movies are successful, these next 2 are successful financially, there will be more movies set in the MonsterVerse that Legendary will produce. We already knew that. We've known that for a long time. Michael Dougherty talks about if he got to do more, he likes the idea of going back in time, telling stories from different eras. He has the direct quote, "Skull Island was set in the 70s, but personally I'd like to do Godzilla BC. Go back to ancient times and really see the Ray Harryhausen-esque world where primitive humans had to try and survive with these creatures. Maybe we'd get to see the first time mankind truly encountered Godzilla and get to see how that relationship was christened." So, you know, that kind of ties into all the stuff we've seen on the Monarch website, where we see that art of Godzilla interacting with ancient civilizations, Ghidorah interacting with civilizations. We know Ken Watanabe's character arc, Serizawa's character arc in Godzilla King of the Monsters will be about learning how to coexist with these monsters the way those ancient civilizations did. And I think Michael Dougherty got his chance to tell this Godzilla BC story in Godzilla Aftershock, because I do believe a fair portion of that is set in a BC setting. So we'll see in Godzilla Aftershock what goes on when I get to read it. Until then, it's cool to think that Michael Dougherty likes the idea of telling a story back then. Not sure it would work in a film. I think that'd be great for an anime or for a short, but I don't think that'd work as a feature-length film. I just don't think audiences would receive it well, and I also think it'd kind of be a little boring if you did that. But I could be wrong. It's all about the execution, and the execution could be awesome. I have no idea. It just depends on who handled it. It's a good thing I'm not in charge of that story, because I don't think I'd tell it very well. Alright, and that's gonna do it for this one, boys and girls. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. D-Man, out.